I just wanted to discuss Trump ordering the murders of Nigerians living in the most meager conditions, huts, mud buildings, poorly constructed homes, and bombing them on Christmas, saying he wants to give them a Christmas present. This is not normal thinking. This shows Trump is a sociopath. He is also a psychopath. And really, why in the world is America tolerating a person with such severe mental disorders as a president? I just don't understand it. This person wouldn't be fit for any job in any business, even if he has an occasional good idea. Why in the world would you want somebody who is a sociopath and a psychopath running your country? It is absolutely crazy. So here he says, well, these people are hurting Christians. And he's talking about, I guess, Nigerian Christians or white Christians. He says that the Nigerians who are doing this are scum. He's referred to Africans in general as shitholes, and this is absolutely crazy. He just loves to murder people. I mean, he's been doing it ever since he took over in January 1st, 2025, when that poor soldier was put in a car with fireworks which exploded as he was driving a Tesla and parked in front of the Trump Hotel. Now, we never saw pictures of the man driving up to the Trump Hotel with that in that Tesla, and there had to be security photos of all of that happening. And we never learned the man's name. We never knew what went on. This man was nameless and had fireworks in the car, which were probably set off by remote control. And I assume he was drugged or in some way hypnotized or some other. He was probably had a mental illness and was put in that car and killed to kind of explode Trump's beginning of his presidency, where he said he was going for revenge and to get even with people. I forgot what the other word he used. But he is not of normal mentality. Why in the world would you allow the man with mental health disorders to tear up the White House? And he tore up Melania's area because he hates Melania, I'm sure. And he tore that up so she wouldn't have a place in the White House. And he could get rid of her because she won't have a room. She won't have a place. She won't have a place for her people. And so this is all part of his pathology. And I think we need to have better people in the White House. And I know America must have better people somewhere. And it shows that anybody can be president. And there should be no person who's currently in prison or any person who doesn't have an education who cannot run for president, because I think President Trump is showing that he is the lowest of the low. And the Nigerians, in covering for him and saying they wanted him to bomb their own people, well, those people have a problem. And I also wanted to discuss, he's saying he's doing this because of problems by Christians. The Christians are not being treated well. Well, when England and other places had problems with priests who were pedophiles, it was very common for the church to send these priests to Africa after they were horrible priests. I mean, they were doing horrible things to kids for decades. The kids were traumatized for life. Finally, after many years of pleading and begging and complaining, they were finally able to get some sort of resolution, And what the church did was not take the priests out of the priesthood, but they took them and put them on a plane to Africa, where, of course, I'm sure they were continuing to do their pedophilia on the kids, and also molesting, I'm sure, adults. And Africa has been tormented by Christian priests for many decades, and now suddenly the Trump wants to not go after the history of what's been going on in Africa by the church, by the priests over many, many years, but he feels that he needs to bomb poor Nigerians. So I don't understand the government. I don't understand the Supreme Court. I don't understand the courts in general. I don't understand why people tolerate such poorly educated people in Trump's White House, and for wanting to bomb and murder everybody. We've started with murders January 1st, 2025. We've continued with murders, serial murders of people, even without any real evidence that they committed crimes or who they were. These are just, I think Trump has now bombed 100 Venezuelans who were on boats. He claims they had drugs, but there is no evidence that they had drugs. They were never taken alive so that they could be found in court. You don't want to get the people who are carrying the drugs. You want to find out who's selling the drugs to these people who are on boats, if they are using boats to transport drugs of some sort. But by bombing them, all you're doing is shielding the people who are doing the business in the first place. We know that most of the drugs come in by planes, private planes like Trump's, and a lot of famous people who are rich people. We know that Elon Musk is using a lot of drugs which are, he is not a doctor. He's not supposed to be having all those drugs, but he does. And it's absolutely crazy. So what do you think? Do you think that Trump is a sociopath, a psychopath, just a plain murderer? Or do you feel that this is normal and maybe I'm just out of tune? Anyway, I hope you had a Merry Christmas. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.